Apple's HomePod, we had to smuggle it across the border. But the speaker became available in Canada earlier this year, June 18th to be exact. And now that it's officially a Canadian citizen, we decided to take a look at it for you guys and see what the Canadian HomePod is all about. Welcome to All Hands on Tech. I'm Meagan Simpson. The HomePod comes in one of two colors, white or space gray, which just seems like a fancy way of saying black to me. And it costs a hefty $449 Canadian. And speaking of heft, when I first got the HomePod, I was surprised by the size and weight. Unlike its other smart speaker cousins, the HomePod is quite large. It's about 17 centimeters high and 14 centimeters wide, and weighs more than 5 pounds. And while it's quite big, the size does make sense once you hear its speaker capabilities. The HomePod is built for sound. Having it at full volume was quite impressive when you compare it to the Amazon Echo or Google smart speakers. Other than the sound quality though, I wasn't too impressed by Apple's step into the smart speaker market. Siri isn't the best at responding and often misunderstands words. Hey Siri, how far away is Halliburton?
Halliburton Company on Denison Street, Markham is about 8 kilometers away.
It would sometimes give me the wrong location when I asked about weather or traffic in a specific area. And this was a bit surprising because location services was something that was supposed to be one of the big improvements of the HomePod being released here in Canada. Another thing that was supposed to change with its Canadian release was the improved searches with Siri. In fact, it did a pretty good job of answering my questions. Hey Siri, who is Wayne Gretzky?
Wayne Gretzky played center in the NHL between 1979 and 1998. He played for the New York Rangers, St. Louis Blues, Los Angeles Kings, and Edmonton Oilers.
Thanks, Siri. Other things I was able to successfully do with my HomePod included setting a timer, listening to podcasts and news, and it even added events to my calendar and items to my grocery list that Siri would then read back to me when I was ready to shop. This wasn't possible before the Canadian release. My HomePod was also able to send and read text messages. Hey Siri, text Shruti.
What do you want to say?
Hey, how are you today?
Your message to Shruti says, "Hey, how are you today? Ready to send it?"
Send.
I'll send your message.
However, it's still not able to make calls, and sometimes it tells me that a contact isn't in my address book, even though I know it's there. Unfortunately, I wasn't able to test out the smart speaker's home skill capabilities because I don't have any smart home devices. If you're doing this, keep in mind your devices have to work with the Apple HomeKit to be controlled by the HomePod. But I do love listening to music, and the speaker quality on the HomePod was quite impressive. However, despite having an iPhone and an iPad, I do not subscribe to Apple Music because I'm a little cheap and hello, Spotify. Since this is the case, playing music on the HomePod was a little bit more difficult than I would like it to be. Siri will only play songs through Apple Music. If you want to use another platform, you have to go through your mobile device. Kind of annoying, but not the worst thing in the world. And finally, since the HomePod is officially Canadian now, you might be wondering if it supports both of Canada's official languages. Unfortunately, Siri on the HomePod does not speak Canadian French just yet, but that feature is coming sometime later this year. Overall, I'd have to say that while it's a great speaker, I don't think the HomePod is quite as smart as you'd hope it to be. Also, given that Apple's smart device costs almost $500, I'd have to say that unless you're looking for a really good speaker that's also a smart device, maybe just stick to some of the less expensive smart home devices. What do you guys think? Leave a comment below and tell us your thoughts. And don't forget to subscribe to our channel. I'm Meagan Simpson, and you're watching All Hands on Tech.